with me. We're just doing a quick pop-up show. Alec, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Ben. How are you doing?
Good, man. It's been busy.
Yes,
Just
I
got off
can
work a
tell.
little while ago. Yeah, we're gonna do a just a little quick pop-up show, talking about some stuff real quick. What's going on today? I guess the biggest news, football-wise, is Debo Samuel. He says he wants out of San Francisco. He wants to be traded, and after I guess they had talks about a new contract and something Debo didn't like hearing, so he made this request to for a trade. Yeah, easy for me to say for a trade. He requested a trade. So I don't know. What's your thoughts on that, Alec?
I mean, it's more of I can see it's more of money wise than more so of where that team is headed. I can honestly from the teams that are actually looking for him. I can see them possibly giving draft picks on top of money to trade him to either. My top two is either Detroit or Green Bay. Then to get traded to him for him.
Okay, my opinion. I'm gonna rule one out. Green Bay, because you just gave
I mean,
up
it's a
Devonte
choice.
Adams. You gave
Yeah.
up Devonte Adams. I know you got picks back for it, but I think they're gonna go get a receiver in the draft. Now, what's really interesting to me is the timing of it. I don't know what was said. We don't know what was said to Debo
Yeah.
that be like, okay, I want out. I mean, this really puts a dent in the Niners' chances of getting to a Super Bowl, in my opinion, because he is probably your best offensive weapon on that team. So now, with him wanting more money, I mean, I'm sure it was money related. Um, you look at the contracts that guys like Tyreek Hill got, Devonte Adams got. So now Debo feels like he wants to be in that same category as those guys,
Yeah.
and that's why. And I guess just my opinion, San Francisco probably said, "Well, we like you. We'll pay you. We'll pay you a good amount, but we're not going to pay you that amount that guys like Hill and Adams are getting." So, and then Debo's like, "Well, okay, I don't want to be here. So trade me, do what you got to do." So that's my take on it, my opinion, and we'll see what happens. Detroit's interesting because keep in mind they got two first round picks, the number 2 pick and the number 32 pick. They can give up that second pick to get a guy like Debo Samuel. Now they do need a receiver, but I just think that right now there's more pressing needs for Detroit. The 32nd pick is not going to do for the Niners. They want that second pick if they're going to make a move to Detroit because they don't have a first round pick and they're not picking until like the late second round. Um, Honestly, I don't know which team off the top of my head that would trade for him. I know there's teams that would, but
Let me
what
see.
team do you think? What team do you think, Alec, would be the best fit for a guy like Debo that would give the Niners what they want?
Honestly, I can honestly see Detroit because I was telling Alex about that earlier. Because I can honestly see him lined up with what's his name on top of my head. Um, it's their number one receiver in Detroit. Top of my head. Amon Ra-
Oh,
Amon St. Brown. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'd definitely see them, but the number two pick, I don't like it fits like out of teams that would want to trade for him. I can see it going like them trading, but I don't think the number two pick would be given up for that. It depends on what their how their rankings are, what the draft needs are. If wide receiver is like number one, then I see they full go through it. But if not, some team probably gonna be later around. Like Philadelphia could probably be in the mix because they have
Like,
two.
yeah, but they already made a trade with New Orleans, and earlier they gave up one of their first round picks for New Orleans. So they could have 2 picks in this first round and then 2 first round picks in 2023. I don't know if Philly's going to want to give up another first round pick to get somebody like Deebo Samuel. I mean, listen, I know Philly's got a lot of them, but they just made a trade with New Orleans for that. So, do you see any other team possibly that could be that's higher up that has multiple picks? I mean, the Giants have multiple picks. The Jets have multiple picks.
I want to say,
and both those teams have 4 picks in the top 10, I think.
The Jets could be another one, knowing that who their really number 1 receiver in the Jets.
Right, because Zach Wilson does need a receiver. I mean, and the Jets are looking at receivers. They can move up.
Braxton Berrios, so it's like I know.
Right. Right. So what they want to do, with those picks, they could just move up a couple spots, or to give the Niners that 4th, or I think they're picking in the top 4 or 5. Niners get that pick, and the Jets get Deebo. So it solves one problem. Now the Jets I don't know if they're going to give up their 2 first round picks, because they do need an offensive lineman. So I think they can get the Jets' first of those 2 first round picks for Deebo. That would make a lot of sense. It fills a need. And remember, Robert Saleh, he was the defensive coordinator in San Francisco before he got the Jets job. And there's a guy, I forget his name, he's on the Jets. He's the passing receivers coordinator or something like that. That was with the Niners as well when Deebo was there. When he was there with Deebo. So there is a connection there.
Yeah.
There's connections there. So to me, and remember, the Jets also almost got Tyreek Hill.
Yeah,
until he
went to
chose Miami. So I think the Jets would probably be the most. It would be the top pick. If I had to pick one team, I think the Jets would be the team to do it, to pull the trigger, if you know what I mean. Hi. You there, Alec?
Yeah, I'm here. I'll have to pull that comment up from Johnny. So,
hey, it's Ben and Alec. Hey, it's Johnny.
So what you're saying is the Jets would be the top option. What would you think is second option if Jets don't pull that trigger?
I'm trying to think of a team that not only has a high draft pick, but also has the money. I would think Atlanta. They have the 7th or 8th pick, I believe. But I don't know what their cap space is. So it might not be a whole lot. Well, maybe it is, because they did trade Matt Ryan. So
they have $3 million left. 3,991,000.
Yeah, see, that's not going to do it.
They don't have major cap space till 2023, but that's not going to be one of those options, because they even really say what his contract, his price range is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what his price range is.
Well, that's the thing. They're gonna. I don't know what he's making now off the top of my head, but he's going to demand a lot of money. So, unfortunately, like you said, the Falcons only have $3 million in the cap at the moment, so they're going to have to make moves. But I don't know if it's going to be enough moves to where they can get enough money to bring Deebo in. If the Niners did a sign and trade.
Yeah, he's currently projected to get paid $3 million this year. Almost $4 million this year with base salary.
Okay, so is his contract up?
Yeah.
After this year?
He's an unrestricted free agent in 2023.
Okay. So then what the Falcons could do is, or the Niners can do like a sign and trade. You know what I mean? Like sign them to and then trade it, and then Atlanta could figure out, the how to, you know, open that contract up for how many years and how much money he's going to be on that contract. So I would think the Jets and Falcons would probably be the two teams that could land him. Falcons have like the 6th or 7th pick, I believe. And they would give that to the Niners for Debo because they are going to need another receiver. And I think he could fit in that Falcons offense. Mariota, he's a solid quarterback, not great, but a guy like Debo helped Garoppolo out really well. So, and I know they got Cordell Patterson, but if you got two guys like a Patterson and a Debo, that would really help the quarterback out.
Especially they play the same kind of play scheme on its own. They play that running back / receiver.
Right, because, it's going to, make defenses scheme harder. Who are you going to watch? Cordell or are you going to watch Debo? You got two threats. And like I said, Mariota, you don't need a great quarterback. You need a solid quarterback. Garoppolo's a solid quarterback. So that's just, I think that would be a good fit along with the Jets. Those are the two teams that if Debo gets traded to, that would be the two teams I would think will land Debo, either the Jets or the Falcons.
Johnny Dean said, I really can't see Debo getting traded to another team. It's doubtful he would trade for the Niners for the Jets or Falcons. I still think once the Niners open up that $25 million from Jimmy G, Debo will get his extension.
Well, that's the thing too. I mean, are they going to trade Jimmy? We don't know right now because he just had the shoulder surgery, and I know some Niners fans who are friends of mine. They're saying they don't think the Niners trust Trey Lance just yet. They may want to hang on to Jimmy Garoppolo for now. Because I think his contract ends this year after 2022. And remember, they were this close to getting to the Super Bowl. They were a quarter away. So, do you ride with Jimmy for another year? Try to get back to the Super Bowl? Or do you trust somebody like Trey Lance? Because eventually he is going to have to play. They traded up for him last year. So, what are your thoughts on that, Alec?
No, it's the more I think about it. I mean, if they do free up that cap space, it could be one of those things where they do give him that extension. But that's all a big if question. If he actually does get released and they save that $25 million, because they're still debating. It's probably in my opinion, it's going to last until like mid training camp, like mid preseason, if they could even make it last that long, because they still got to see who actually they're going to QB1 is going to be, because Kyle Shanahan even said they're going to have a QB battle, a QB1 battle in the preseason to see who gets QB1. They're not really fully set Trey Lance yet.
Yeah, just from reports I'm hearing, and like I said, I know some Niner fans that I'm friends with. They don't know if they trust Trey Lance right now. Yeah, they're not too sure if he's ready to be in that spot. Maybe that's why you hold on to Garoppolo. It kind of makes sense though, because again, I'm not the biggest Garoppolo fan, but at the same time, he's been to a Super Bowl. He almost got there again. And so it's just a question of, what do they do that if they do get rid of Garoppolo, it does free up that money to sign Debo. So what I'm saying is, who do you choose here, Jimmy or Debo?
See, that's the pick and choose, because you're saying you're picking Debo, then you got to trust Debo with Trey Lance.
Right.
But if you're taking away Debo, then you're going to be like, what are you going to give Jimmy G?
It's hard to conundrum,
To lose in that situation.
And that's the thing. In the if this were a team that were rebuilding, I think you would keep Debo, get rid of Garoppolo. You might as well start Lance now.
Yeah,
But
but
this
then
team's
won't
a
like that
Super
win now.
Bowl ready team. They're a Super Bowl ready team with that defense. So it's quite the conundrum. They got a decision to make. I just think that, man, it's tough. If you don't trust Trey Lance right now, I'd stick with Garoppolo for one more year. If you don't think he's ready, I would keep Garoppolo. You may have to sacrifice Debo, but you still got a defense that can get you to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I could definitely. It's one of those. If they're because they definitely are win now, so it kind of puts them in that bind of what they're gonna do.
Yeah,
Because you gotta think if you let go of Debo and like you said, there's no really draft pick here for them in the first round. Mostly
yeah,
all the top receivers are gonna be mostly gone that you would really want to take to be in a win now mode. It's just it's gonna be interesting. See what route they take. Whatever, if they let go Debo, you're gonna know if they're gonna definitely be in rebuild.
yeah.
But
I think if you go with Lance
it's a
and keep
rebuild.
Debo, it's yeah. Well, it's not really a rebuild with the team, but it's kind of a step. I don't know if it's a step up. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say it's a step down, but I don't know if it's a step up. If you keep Garoppolo, he's got that experience. And again, I'm not the biggest fan of his, but he's played in big games. And Shanahan's creative enough to where he could, you got, I think you still got Mohamed Sanu. I don't know who the other, I forget the other receiver's name, but on that team, off the top of my head, but they still got some weapons.
I got you.
Johnny says if Jimmy stays, he will have to take a cut. I don't see that.
So they
I
have
really don't.
Debo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk,
Brandon Ayuk,
Juan
that's the name. Yeah.
Jennings, Ray McLeod, Marcus Johnson. Um, I think it's
Sanu a
almost
free agent?
Mohamed Sanu. Is it Mohamed Sanu?
Yeah. Right.
Uh,
Is he or is he a free agent?
Let's see. I'm trying to see his contract. I'm trying to pull up his contract.
Okay.
Let's see. I can fully bring it up on here. It's not popping
Just
up.
want to remind everybody that this is the NFL edition with Ben and Alec. We're trying something different. Give us a
So,
like.
San Francisco page. Yeah, it's not really showing. He's a free agent.
Okay, so gotcha. Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, and Raheem Mostert signed. He went somewhere else, didn't he? I think he went to Miami, right?
You said who? Raheem Mostert? Yeah, he went to Miami.
Mostert,
Yeah,
yeah, he went to Miami. So they did lose somebody in the run game.
so not only
What's
if you
happening?
lose
NFL
Debo,
says, yeah, Debo is hard to replace though. Jimmy is out no matter what. Well, yeah, yes and no. I mean, but you got to look at the situation the Niners are in. They're one of those teams that can compete for a Super Bowl. And do you trust Trey Lance right now, as we're sitting here, to take this team to a Super Bowl? He's only played in one NFL game so far. That was against the Texans. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do there. Do the Niners believe in Trey Lance at this point? I have doubts about that. What do you
That's
think,
more
Alec?
what
Do you think
I think it's they're
you think
still
Lance?
preseason. I mean, I don't think he's the answer right now. Not for 100%. He's not the answer right now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I get it. He's great. I'd love to have a deep. You know, if I needed a receiver on our team, we don't need him, but if we did, Debo would be great to have. It's just that I'm looking at the situation as a whole, where the Niners are at right now. Do you go with the guy who's been to a Super Bowl, who's played in big games in Garoppolo, or do you go with somebody like Trey Lance, who's we've never got to see him in big games? So it's tough, man. I mean, I think right now, if you ask Jimmy if Debo's going to ask for an outrageous amount of money, I just don't know if it's worth it right now, in my opinion.
Johnny says they are going to they're going to have to sooner or later. He was in 2 games and Lance played well one with a good enough start stats to start.
Yeah, but that's the thing. 2 games. That's not enough to tell me, okay, bye,
That's
Jimmy.
at least like 6,
You know,
8. That would give like at least
yeah,
some breathing room. But then
right.
that's all about who they actually because it's gonna be they're probably gonna be, it's probably not gonna be talked about as much, but it's gonna be they're doing some quarterback battle to see who's actually gonna they actually trust more. Which I still wouldn't trust Trey Lance because it's preseason is different than regular season. It's a whole different area. You can't really tell in the training camp and preseason.
Yeah, yeah, and again, this is a Super Bowl. Well, they're at least a conference championship kind of. Easy for me to say, a conference championship kind of team right now. If this were a team that were, let's say, the Jags or that are rebuilding, cool. We'll go with Lance, throw him right in there, and go from there for the next few years. So we'll see what happens on that, man. I'm very interested to see where this goes.
Ben is
Christopher
breaking
Cole
up
says
bad.
Ben is breaking up bad. Okay, yeah, because we're just frozen Ben on a stick. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, I apologize for that. I'm on my iPad right now. Like I said, this is the first episode we're doing. This is the pop-up show with me and Alec. So we thank you very much for tuning in. We appreciate it. Give us a like.
And share.
That helps us out, and share. That's the most important thing as well. Sharing is caring. So, like, share, Care Bears. All right. So, is there anything? Am I still frozen, or what do we do?
Oh, it's not as yes. Now you're frozen. Now you're frozen. It's like this. Yeah, it's just like in and out. I mean, like like the voice is still this. It's like what your face is. It just like it's like a
All right.
yeah.
How about now? Yeah, you froze for a sec. Okay, so hold on. Let's read Johnny's comment. This is more about what they can get for Jimmy than what they are doing with Lance. Always has been. Well, that's true, but until the Debo thing popped up, now you got a situation where that's gonna, financially kind of put a, wrench into it. Now you got to do 2 things: Garoppolo, Debo. All they had to worry about was Garoppolo, but now you got to worry about Debo. So, they got thrown a monkey wrench there. So,
Oh, I just want to say. What was that?
Oh, go ahead.
No, I just want to say for everybody that's watching, tune in tomorrow on Thursday for the NFL edition with me, Johnny Dean, Alex, and Ben Cornett.
Awesome.
Tomorrow night at 10.
All right, good. Yes, tomorrow night, 10 Eastern, 9 Central, 8 Mountain, 7 Pacific, 4 Hawaiian, and whatever time you are in Japan, probably the next Friday morning. So I don't know. All right. So, guys and girls, thank you so much for joining. Appreciate it. And we'll see you tomorrow night.